Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso and I'm really excited to be here today to do our Q3 2022 in review. So each quarter we try to go over what happened in the quarter related to accounting and auditing standards and what we need to be aware of. Good news is it wasn't a super busy quarter. So we actually had a pretty light quarter from all of the major standard setters. So it's going to be a pretty quick one today, but just to give you an update on where we are. The AICPA did issue two technical Q&As. Both of these are really important. One relates to ethics and the other one relates to ethics. You probably notice a trend here. Quite a few ethics interpretations are either recently are effective or about to be effective, and they're getting a lot of questions. And so these two QAs address in particular the information system services, which was delayed twice, addressing IT help desk, hypercare, and IT network maintenance. And so we have the 250 ethics update there. And then they also address the new unpaid fees technical Q&A in section 705. Which talks about the term covered member and the significance of unpaid fees, the comparison of safeguards for both small and large firms, and other situations where unpaid fees could impact independence. So again, giving a little bit of Q&A based on, again, another one that will be effective very soon. They also issued one SAS 148. This is a very targeted item. It only impacts AUC section 935, which is our compliance audit. So for those of you who do single audits, you know that we leverage 935 there. And 935 tells us what to do when we're doing a compliance audit, because we're not looking for the risk of material misstatement, we're looking at the risk of material non-compliance. And so as a result, SAS 148 is helping to address an issue related to impact of recent standards. So SAS 142, 145 made changes to audit evidence as well as to risk assessment. When they were looking at 935, they really needed to go through and provide a little bit of guidance on one, the appendix on what does not apply to single audits, but two, to give a little bit more clarity in the risk assessment area. So SAS 148 updates AUC section 935 and in particular the appendix there. Gasby issued one concept statement. Again, they've been working very hard on getting their concept statements up to date. This one in particular is related to the notes to the financial statements and kind of talks about when should the board think about requiring a note, what makes a note essential, and provides some basic understanding about how we communicate general purpose external financial statements, what we need to have in those notes. And so what needs to be incorporated in there and what the board should be considering when they are evaluating information for inclusion as a disclosure. And then last but not least, FASB issued a very targeted ASU looking at the disclosure of supplier finance programs. Now, this is pretty interesting. This is a new way of basically financing purchases where there's a discount provided for early payment, but at the end of the day, we want to take a longer time to pay. And so we use this financing transaction. There was no real guidance on explaining what the potential risks were there. And so ASU 2020-04 provides a little bit more guidance around disclosures, just a little bit about the requirements here and a little bit about what the arrangement is. And so that is a new disclosure set. So as I said, pretty targeted. If you don't have this situation, then you don't have any applicability of this at ASU. All right, so as I said, short and sweet, the quarter was light. We do typically see Q3 as a lighter period. People are taking their holidays, right? This is basically July, August, and September. So lots going on in there. That doesn't mean that there's not a lot to come. FASB had some pretty important meetings, especially in the last month of the year, September, or last month of the quarter. In September, they really hit up the PCC and the NAC with some pretty good topics. We know we're expecting an exposure draft on leases related to related party common control arrangements. So there's more to come, but this is the taste of what was happening in the third quarter of 2022. We wish you a wonderful 10/15 deadline, as many of you are racing the clock towards that deadline. And so we hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.